At the zoo, I filmed a video of a large ape mimicking humans, and it instantly went viral. In the video, the ape imitated my movements perfectly. But one comment read, "This ape has eaten human flesh before. It's noticed you. Tonight, it will definitely come for you." In the middle of the night, a slow scratching sound of nails echoed on my door. Eerily jumped, quickly got up, and peered through the peephole. In the hallway was the neighbor's child, scratching at the door with their fingernails, making a grating sound. I breathed a sigh of relief. The neighbor's child was very mischievous, always playing pranks on others. I'm a blogger specializing in funny animal videos. Normally, I enjoy going to zoos and filming amusing clips. A few days ago, I filmed an ape mimicking me, and it suddenly exploded in popularity. My account wasn't particularly prominent, but this video garnered millions of likes when posted. In the video, whatever movement I made, the ape followed. It even mimicked my expressions, baring its teeth in a grin, revealing dark red gums. Netizens all said the ape was incredibly intelligent, but one particular user claimed this ape had definitely eaten human flesh. He said apes that eat human flesh have blood-red eyes. He even added, "This ape will definitely come looking for you tonight." His comment quickly got lost amidst the others, and I didn't pay it any mind. I was just about to open the door to tell the neighbor's child to stop scratching. At the same time, the TV blared with a news broadcast. "This is an urgent announcement. Residents in the vicinity are advised to lock all doors and windows and refrain from going outside. An ape from the city's Red Mountain Zoo escaped 1 hour ago. According to reports, the ape deliberately feigned death to lure a staff member in for inspection. The male staff member was immediately attacked by the ape, which went for his neck." Primate experts currently state that the reason for the ape's sudden frenzy and escape remains unknown. Investigations reveal this is the famous ape from social media recently. Previously, it often appeared innocently charming in popular online videos. Experts warn that the ape is highly likely to continue causing harm. Police and experts are currently working to apprehend it, and residents are strongly advised not to go outside. My heart sank, so the online commenter had been telling the truth. Outside the peephole, the neighbor's child was still standing. Its head was bowed, motionless. The hallway light was dim, and the lower half of its face was obscured in shadow, making it unclear. I wanted to tell it to go home quickly, that it wasn't safe outside. Just as I was about to speak, I felt something was wrong. The neighbor's child was only 5 or 6 years old. Normally, looking through the peephole, I'd only see the top of its head. But today, I could see its entire face. Moreover, the scratching sound from earlier was too grating, nothing like human fingernails, but more like a sharp-clawed animal. Cold sweat broke out. My throat was so dry it felt constricted. Not daring to speak, I texted the neighbors next door, the Lees. The neighbors immediately replied, "Sorry, we just went down to get some late-night food. We thought the little one was asleep, so we weren't worried. Didn't expect him to wake up and run out. Would you mind letting him in for a bit? We also heard the ape escaped, feeling a bit worried. We'll be right back, about 5 minutes." The neighbor's sincere attitude made it hard for me to refuse. My relationship with the neighbors had always been good. Their child was a bit annoying, but the young couple was very hospitable and friendly. They often brought me homemade dishes. Both emotionally and logically, I couldn't refuse their request. I hesitated for a moment, then still pushed the door open just a finger's width. "Little one, it's not safe outside. Come in and sit for a bit, okay? I have lots of candy and your parents will be home soon," I whispered to it. Normally, the neighbor's child loved sweets and would be thrilled to hear about candy. But today, it just stood in the shadows, head bowed, motionless. And when I finally got a clear look at its form, the strange feeling inside me intensified. Its height was actually much greater than before, almost matching mine. Even though the neighbor's child had been at summer camp during the holidays, and we hadn't seen each other for over a month, how could a 5- or 6-year-old child grow so tall so quickly? Immediately after, it stirred and stepped out of the shadows. My pupils violently constricted. A familiar ape's face slowly, terrifyingly slowly, emerged from behind the child's face. It was the escaped ape. Its blood-red eyes stared at me, a grotesque grin twisting its lips. The ape was holding the child's head, dangling it in front of me. Finally, I understood. What I had just seen was the ape holding the neighbor's child's head. It had always been trying to lure me out. My entire body went cold. I slammed the door shut at top speed. but I was still a step too late. The ape's hand slipped inside. Its nails were black and long. Dark red blood clung to them. I screamed, pushing the door with all my might. Luckily, after just a few attempts, the ape recoiled its claws in pain. I was drenched in cold sweat, panting heavily behind the door. Outside, there was no sound. After a while, I dared to look through the peephole. The ape was gone from the hallway. Even the neighbor's child's head had vanished. Trembling, I texted the neighbors, telling them absolutely not to come back and to find a safe place to hide. I told them their child had been killed by the ape. The very next second, I received a reply from the neighbors. "What's wrong with you? Not letting my child in is one thing, but cursing him? My child is clearly waiting at the top of the stairs." Mr. Lee's tone was very annoyed. Very quickly, he sent me a video. In the video, the neighbor's child stood at the corner of the stairs. Only the child's head was visible. My hands trembled so much I could barely hold the phone. It was obvious. The ape was using the child's head to lure the couple closer. From behind the door, I yelled for the couple to run fast, but it was too late. I heard 2 consecutive, agonizing screams. Through the peephole, I saw the man, Mr. Lee, dragging a broken leg, struggling to crawl towards me. "Help me," he pleaded, but I didn't dare open the door. Though my conscience was racked with torment, I knew if I opened the door, I would surely die. The ape was incredibly intelligent. It wasn't killing the man immediately, but using him to lure me out. "Save me, please, I don't want to die," he cried. "I really don't want to die. It hurts so much, it's still biting my leg." The man laboriously lifted his head, looked towards my door, and let out a desperate cry. I couldn't tear my eyes away, my vision blurred. Logic screamed at me, "Absolutely do not open the door." "Fine then. If you see me dying and won't help, then we'll all die together. My wife and child are already dead anyway, you won't get to live either." The man outside suddenly began to laugh, a strange, disjointed sound. "My son used to secretly watch you enter your password, so I know your door code." The man's words sent a chill through my veins, freezing my blood. I remembered that when I had entered my password before, the neighbor's child had indeed been hiding nearby, peeking. But I trusted my neighbors completely, so I hadn't thought anything of it. When I heard the man accurately recite my door code, I quickly grabbed a fruit knife and retreated into my room, locking the door securely. The very next moment, the sound of my door's keypad being pressed echoed. My heart pounded like a drum. Password unlocked, door open. Following a soft click, the door slowly pushed open. In the living room, a deathly silence. Suddenly, asterisk clack, 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 the heavy sound of high heels echoed. I froze. High heels? Why high heels? Then I remembered I had installed a camera in the living room before, specifically when I had a cat. After my cat passed away, I hadn't paid any attention to the camera. I quickly pulled out my phone, praying the camera was still working. I opened the camera app on my phone and, to my relief, found it was still active. But when I clearly saw the image in the living room, a chilling fear shot straight to the top of my head. In the ape's hand were 2 pale white legs. They belonged to the female neighbor, Mrs. Lee's. She was still wearing the high heels she usually wore. It held the legs, tapping them rhythmically on the floor, its eerie ape face staring intently at my room door. I was so terrified I almost cried. My main door was a sturdy security door, but my room door was just ordinary wood. It absolutely couldn't stop the ape. I looked towards the back balcony. I was on the 8th floor. Fortunately, the residents on the 7th floor hadn't enclosed their balcony. If the ape really got in, I could still jump down from the balcony. Even if I broke a leg, it was better than being tortured to death by the ape here. A dark shadow stretched in through the door crack. The ape was standing outside my room, the doorknob slowly pressing down. I gasped, my whole body cold, but it didn't seem to be in a hurry to enter. As if it wanted to slowly torment me, I moved my feet, cautiously approaching the balcony railing. The moment the ape entered, I would jump. The prolonged sound of claws scratching on the door echoed, and cold sweat beaded on the tip of my nose. Bang, bang, the ape began to impatiently pound on the door. The door rattled violently, threatening to collapse. I gritted my teeth, half my body already suspended outside the balcony. Just as I was about to jump, footsteps suddenly echoed from outside. A man's voice called out, 803, "It's the middle of the night, can you please keep it down? Why is your door wide open? Are you home?" I recognized the man's voice. It was Mark from 703, the downstairs resident. A muscular young boxing coach, Mark was hot-tempered and often argued with neighbors. "Don't come in. The killer ape is in my living room right now," I quickly yelled through the door. But it was too late. From the security camera, I saw Mark from 703 push open the door and walk in. Yet, just for a moment when I wasn't looking at the camera, the ape's shadow outside my room door suddenly vanished. It wasn't visible anywhere else in the living room either. "What ape? Are you kidding me?" Mark said, annoyed. "My wife's a light sleeper. You've woken her up several times already. We couldn't take it anymore, so we came up to find you." The ape's sudden disappearance didn't reassure me. Instead, it made me even more terrified. It couldn't just vanish for no reason. It had to be hiding somewhere. Thinking of it lurking in some dark corner, ready to pounce and kill Mark, I grew incredibly anxious. That ape killed the entire family from 802, and now it's in this building. It was just outside my room door. "Haven't you seen the news about the ape escaping from the zoo on TV?" I yelled anxiously through the door. I wanted Mark to go home immediately. But the man seemed to hear something amusing. He nonchalantly said, "My household rarely watches TV, so I don't know about the news you're talking about. Besides, it's just an ape. You say an ape killed someone? I don't believe it. I teach people how to fight every day. It'd be laughable if I lost to an ape." Mark rambled on as he walked towards my room door, but he had no idea it was an extraordinarily huge ape. On the camera, I saw the man suddenly frown, leaning his head close to my room door. "Why is your door covered in claw marks? Is there really an ape?" I was frantic. "Please, sir, just go home. That ape is really still around here." Unexpectedly, after hearing this, Mark not only didn't leave, but his face lit up with excitement. "Then I'll show this ape what a real man is." Seeing him like this, I was so angry I couldn't speak. Mark truly was an idiot. He swung his fist, shouting, "You damned ape, come out here, I'll skin you alive." I stared tensely at my phone camera. The living room was silent. I didn't know where that black ape was hiding. "You said this ape also killed the entire family in 802? The man's face was full of skepticism. No matter how much I tried to convince him, he insisted on going to 802 to see for himself. If I hadn't been too afraid to go out recklessly, I would have rushed out and given him a piece of my mind. Since Mark had left my apartment, I no longer saw him on the camera, but Mark quickly video called me. After a moment of hesitation, I answered. The hallway floor was clean, without a single trace of blood. I never thought this ape would pay attention to such details. It was too smart. No wonder Mark didn't believe the entire 802 family had been killed. In the video, I saw the man try to push open the door of 802. The unlocked door opened with a click when he pushed it, but when he tried to push further inside, he couldn't, as if something was standing behind the door, blocking it. Goosebumps rose all over my body. Could the ape be hiding behind the door? Thinking this, I screamed for the man to run immediately. But at that moment, the network signal turned red. The man probably didn't hear my voice. He then squeezed through the narrow gap and went inside. I saw two people sitting on the sofa in the living room. Mark from 703 laughed and said, "I'm purposely scaring you. Aren't the 802 couple sitting right here on the sofa?" But soon enough, he also felt something was wrong. Because the 802 couple sat motionless on the sofa, their heads almost touching their chests. They were clearly two corpses. "Damn it!" the man screamed in terror and ran straight out. But it was too late. A large, dark shadow slowly emerged from behind the door, standing behind him. The ape's strange, ear-piercing laugh echoed. At this moment, the video call suddenly stuttered, the image breaking into fragments. A moment later, the video became clear again. The ape had one foot planted on the head of the dying man. A horrific sound echoed. It excitedly danced and writhed. The ape held the phone, still on video call with me, in one hand. It pressed its head close to the phone lens, those blood-red eyes staring intently at me. I was drenched in cold sweat. I ended the video call. I knew the ape's next target was me. Not daring to hesitate, I gritted my teeth and jumped from the window. Luckily, my landing posture was quite good. I landed safely on the 7th floor balcony, unharmed. The woman from room 703, Sarah, heard the commotion and happened to push her door open and step out. "Aren't you the girl from upstairs? What's wrong with you?" She looked at me in astonishment. "My husband went up to find you just now. Where is he?" I quickly explained the whole situation to her. The woman stared at me with wide, disbelieving eyes. "You're saying an ape killed my husband? You must be lying to me." Her face was full of suspicion. "My husband is a boxing coach. 3 or 4 men can't even beat him, let alone an ape. Get out of my house right now or I'll call security." I quickly motioned for her to lower her voice, fearing her shouting would attract the ape. But no matter what I said, she still wouldn't believe me. Suddenly, she sneered and said, "I knew you were lying. I just got a message from my husband. He said you're crazy and told me to kick you out. He even said he's coming down right now." The woman held up her phone to show me the chat interface between her and Mark. I was stunned. I never thought that in such a short time, this ape had even learned how to send messages. Its intelligence was terrifyingly high. "That's not your husband. The ape sent that to you," I said, frantic. The woman looked at me as if I were insane. "You really are sick. Saying an ape killed someone is one thing, but now you're saying it can send messages? Do you think I'm a 3-year-old? Get lost." The woman didn't let me finish, pushing me towards the door. Just then, footsteps echoed in the hallway. That must be my husband coming home. I quickly stopped the woman, urgently telling her not to open the door. "You really have to believe me. The one standing outside the door right now isn't your husband, it's the ape." The woman angrily shoved me to the floor. "You really are seriously ill?" She opened the door. "Honey, this crazy woman," before she could finish, the ape slapped her powerfully to the ground. The woman coughed up a large mouthful of blood. I distinctly heard the sound of bones breaking. "Ah!" the woman screamed in agony. She definitely wouldn't survive. Apologetically, I wanted to slam the door shut. But the very next second, the ape threw the dead woman's body inside. Her head fit perfectly, blocking the doorway, her wide, vacant eyes staring straight at me. I rushed into the bedroom, hiding inside. But the 6th-floor balcony below was enclosed. I couldn't jump down anymore. Was there truly no escape left? My entire body trembled uncontrollably. Outside, the ape's heavy, stiff footsteps slowly drew closer, finally stopping right behind my bedroom door. Only a door separated us, yet I could clearly hear its snorting breath. I clutched the knife in my hand, waiting for it to break down the door and burst in. Bang, bang. The door was pounded so violently it shook intensely. With a loud asterisk thud, the door was smashed through in the middle. The ape's face appeared in the hole, baring its teeth in a grin, terrifyingly close to me. My entire body stiffened. I couldn't escape anymore. But the very next second, a gunshot rang out and the ape roared in pain. I saw a middle-aged man holding a hunting rifle outside the door, aiming at the ape. The ape roared and lunged at the man. Immediately after, another shot rang out, hitting the ape in the stomach. It shrieked piercingly. Its massive body staggered. Its eyes, filled with hatred, stared intently at the man. Just as the man was about to aim again, the ape suddenly darted towards the living room window and leaped out. Seeing the ape had jumped, I finally dared to step out of the room. But the street below was empty. There was no ape corpse. My heart sank. The ape hadn't died from the fall. It was still alive, hiding somewhere in the apartment building. "Are you hurt?" the middle-aged man's voice echoed behind me. He had a thick beard, wore a hat, and had a sturdy build. The man introduced himself as Zeke Wang, resident of room 206. He was a forest ranger, just on leave and returning home today. "I told you it would definitely come for you tonight." I stared at him, astonished. He was the one who commented on my video earlier. Zeke Wang nodded. "When I was young, I encountered a large ape once. This species of man-eating ape, I recognized it immediately just by one look. When I learned you lived in the same building as me, I immediately rushed home. But I was still a step too late. This ape has already eaten someone, hasn't it?" Zeke Wang sighed. Seeing me nod, his reddened eyes grew stern. "Have you heard the rumor about why apes eat humans?" I nervously shook my head. Zeke Wang pulled a cigarette from his pocket, lit it, and took a few deep drags. A strange glint appeared in his eyes as he slowly said, "They say if an ape eats enough humans, it will completely transform into a human. Each time it eats a person, it becomes smarter and stronger." Hearing this, I involuntarily shivered. It has eaten 5 people now. If it eats more, will it really turn into a human? I took out my phone, intending to call the police. Before, I was too terrified and completely forgot to call the police. Zeke Wang shook his head at me. "I already called the police on my way here. Unfortunately, they were tricked by the ape and went in the wrong direction." This ape deliberately created a false trail, making it seem like it had gone in another direction, deceiving everyone. I've informed them the ape is with us now. The police are on their way. Hearing Zeke Wang, I breathed a sigh of relief. The only problem was the apartment was in a very secluded suburb. The police would probably take a while to arrive. To warn other residents not to go outside, I messaged in the residents' group chat. "Mia Lin, 803. Everyone, have you seen the news? The large man-eating ape that escaped from the zoo is hiding in our apartment building. This ape is very smart. It will try every way to lure you outside. Everyone must be careful. Absolutely do not open the door for anyone. Remember to close all doors and windows. Less than a second after I sent it, many people in the group started replying. Resident 401. Seriously, the ape is in our building? Don't scare me like that, I'm all alone tonight. Resident 601. I just heard something running in the hallway. Could it have been the ape? Resident 105. Why did it come to our place? So unlucky. Alex 304. I don't believe an ape would kill without reason. It must have been abused by the staff. I saw videos of this famous ape before. It doesn't seem like the type to randomly eat people. Reading Alex's message, I almost choked. Resident 304 was an extreme animal rights activist. Once, a child was bitten by his dog, but he blamed the child for staring at his dog too much, claiming his dog was completely innocent. Alex 304 continued, Everyone, there's no need to be so scared. I believe all animals have a soul. If we don't harm it, it won't harm us. If anyone actually sees this ape, please don't hurt it. It's probably very scared and lost right now. If it weren't for the dire situation, I would have really wanted to drag Alex out and punch him. Resident 303 to Alex 304, stop talking in the group. Can't you hear it? It sounds like something is crawling on the walls of our apartment building. Resident 303 sent an audio recording. I opened it. Sure enough, I heard a rustling sound like something slowly crawling and slithering upwards. A cold shiver ran down my spine. Alex 304 was silent for over 10 seconds, then messaged, I hear it. Sounds like a rat maybe. But everyone knew a rat couldn't possibly climb the exterior wall of a 15-story building, unless it was something else. Resident 303 to Alex 304, I see the ape outside your window. Alex, don't open the window. Resident 303's words made me shudder. The very next second, Alex sent a photo. His curtains were drawn, leaving only a finger-width gap. I saw a blood-red eye staring intently inside. Alex also seemed a little scared, but he forced a smile and said, It's fine, I've closed the window, it can't get in. Besides, I haven't harmed it. Alex still clung to his theory that all animals have a soul. He directly made a video call in the group chat. Alex's dog barked loudly towards the window. This seemed to provoke the ape. It began violently smashing its head against the window. Apartment windows were inherently thin. In less than 2 blows, the window cracked. I and other residents in the group frantically told Alex to run, fast. Alex's legs were clearly trembling, but he remained rigidly in place. It's okay, it's just scared, it won't hurt me. The window was quickly shattered by the ape, glass shards scattering across the floor. The ape crawled in through the window. Just as Alex was about to speak, the ape pounced on him, pinning him to the ground. The ape first ripped off his arm, then tore off his leg. Alex's agonizing screams were horrifying. Finally, the ape ripped off Alex's head. It seemed to find something amusing, repeatedly bouncing Alex's head on the floor like a ball. The video cut out. Everyone had witnessed the ape's horror. But just then, Zeke Wang received a call from the police. The police told us they encountered a landslide on the way and would only arrive in about 15 minutes. But even if people didn't open their doors, the ape could still get in through windows. We were trapped in the apartment building, with no escape route whatsoever. I looked at Zeke Wang, helpless. Zeke Wang wiped his hunting rifle, silent for a moment, then looked up and said, I will kill this ape with my own hands. He lifted the hem of his shirt, and I saw a brutal scar stretching across his entire abdomen. That year, after I was attacked by an ape, it was my master who saved my life. He was torn in half by the ape. Today, I will avenge my master. Zeke Wang's eyes were resolute, gleaming with a thirst for vengeance. I told him I would go with him. Rather than sitting and waiting for death, it was better to seek a glimmer of hope ourselves. At least one more person meant one more shred of strength. Just as Zeke Wang and I stepped out of the door, the hallway lights flickered twice, then went out completely without a sound. The world around me plunged into utter darkness. The sudden arrival of darkness made me even more terrified. I saw in the group chat that people thought it was a power outage. Old Man Peterson, 103, then said, It's not a power outage, someone pulled the circuit breaker. I heard the sound of the breaker being pulled on the first floor. My heart seized. Old Man Peterson, 103, It's the ape. I hear someone walking outside my door. What should I do? I'm so scared. I said, Don't open the door. Zeke Wang and I will come and check it out. Old Man Peterson, 103, Then hurry, both of you, I'm really scared. Zeke Wang and I went down to the first floor. By the light of my phone, I saw the empty hallway. There was no sign of the ape anywhere. The surroundings were deadly silent, not a single sound. I panted, frantically searching for the ape. Suddenly, I saw that Old Man Peterson's door was ajar. My back was drenched in cold sweat. Hadn't I warned Old Man Peterson not to open the door? At that moment, my phone vibrated twice. It was a new friend request from Tom, 104. He added me via the group chat. Tom, 104. There were a few things I didn't dare say in the group just now. Old Man Peterson, 103, is an old man. He doesn't know how to type or send messages at all. Seeing these words, my blood ran cold. Then the person who sent those messages in the group was the ape, impersonating him. Old Man Peterson's door swung open. Behind it, there seemed to be a large, dark object. Bang, a gunshot echoed. Zeke Wang fired at it. But after he fired, I realized the thing behind the door wasn't the ape at all. It was just a large teddy bear. Immediately after, drip, a liquid fell onto the top of my head. I trembled as I reached up to touch it. A metallic, foul smell assaulted my nose. Reflexively, I looked up. The ape was clinging to the ceiling, baring its teeth in a grin at me. I heard Zeke Wang fire several shots, but the ape dodged them all. Its speed was even greater than before. The ape lunged straight at me. I could even smell the foul, meaty odor from its mouth. Just as I despairingly closed my eyes, waiting to be devoured, the police finally arrived. The ape was shot dead on the spot. Its heavy body fell to the ground, twitched a few times, then became completely still. A few officers helped me up, asking if I was hurt. I shook my head. A man wearing glasses walked up to the ape. Looking at his attire, he was probably the animal expert. The animal expert squatted down, thoroughly examined it, and said, "It's dead." Hearing this, I finally breathed a complete sigh of relief. The ape's body was quickly carried away. Afterward, I said goodbye to Zeke Wang and returned home. Lying on my bed, I still shuddered as I rewatched the video of the ape I had filmed earlier. I intended to delete all these videos. If I hadn't gone and filmed this ape, it wouldn't have suddenly noticed me. I feared that for a long time, I wouldn't dare casually film animals again. But just as I was about to delete the video, an intense feeling of unease flooded my mind. I watched the video over and over, my face growing increasingly pale. Because the ape I filmed had a scar on its chest, but I clearly remembered the ape that had just been killed had no scar on its chest at all. This discovery made cold sweat pour down my entire body like rain. At this moment, the TV suddenly began broadcasting an urgent news alert again. Police reported that the large ape shot dead was not the original man-eating ape, but another ape from a different zoo. Authorities are still investigating why two apes escaped simultaneously tonight. The man-eating ape is still at large. Residents are urged to remain indoors. My heart leaped into my throat. Suddenly, with a soft asterisk creak, my eyes darted to the wardrobe door behind me, which had been tightly closed, now slowly opening a crack. A hand covered in black fur slowly emerged from the gap. I burst into the hallway, running with all my might down the stairs. Behind me, heavy footsteps echoed. They weren't fast, but the distance between the ape and me was steadily closing. The only person who could save me now was Zeke Wang. Drenched in sweat, I finally reached the second floor. Zeke Wang had a hunting rifle. He could handle this ape. I stood before the door of room 206, banging furiously. "Zeke Wang, save me?" The ape stood at a distance, looking back, seemingly not daring to approach recklessly. The door quickly opened. Zeke Wang immediately pulled me inside. Leaning against the door, I panted. "That man-eating ape, it's still here," I said in despair. Zeke Wang sat there, head bowed, but said nothing. I noticed the decor in his apartment was quite strange, almost bare walls, not at all like a place someone had been living in. "Zeke Wang?" I called out, full of doubt. After a moment, Zeke Wang finally spoke. His voice was slow, steady, and eerily light. "Did you know? Apes and humans are actually very similar. Yet humans can lock them up in zoos, controlling everything about them. Don't you think that's completely unfair?" "Zeke Wang, what are you talking about?" I looked at him, utterly bewildered. "You have a hunting rifle. That ape won't dare just walk in. I've already called the police. They'll be here very soon this time." Zeke Wang bared his teeth in a smile. It was the first time I'd seen him smile, and I realized his teeth seemed much sharper and longer than a normal person's, gleaming with a cold light. "Did you know the ape outside is a female ape?" I shook my head, not understanding why he was saying this. All apes dream of becoming human, but very few ever get the chance. However, I believe more and more apes will turn into humans, replacing them. What exactly are you talking about? Zeke Wang scratched his ear, and goosebumps rose on my arms, because Zeke Wang's ear-scratching motion was exactly like an ape's. In the dim light, his eyes glowed red, looking incredibly grotesque. Suddenly, I remembered the rumor about apes turning into humans that Zeke Wang had told me. If they eat enough humans, they can turn into humans. A terrifying thought flashed in my mind. That year, Zeke Wang hadn't actually escaped the ape's pursuit. He had been eaten by the ape. The ape, having eaten enough humans, transformed into the form of the last person it devoured. But it wasn't satisfied, because it also wanted its partner to transform into a human. Under my desperate and pleading gaze, Zeke Wang opened the door. Grunt, grunt. The ape's massive head turned towards me. Police trainee's perspective. I'm Officer Kim, a police trainee who recently graduated. I never expected to encounter such a horrific case during my internship, hunting down the escaped ape. The zoo management told us this ape was vicious by nature. Other apes caged with it were cruelly tortured to death. Indeed, it was very cunning. We were tricked twice. The first time, it deliberately confused us about its direction. The second time, we killed another escaped ape. When we received the alert and returned, this ape was running wildly in the street. It appeared incredibly panicked. As we raised our guns at it, I saw clear fear on its face, tears even streamed from its eyes. The ape's limbs thrashed and it shrieked. For a moment, I felt as if it wanted to tell us something. Seeing us still aiming our guns at it, the ape lunged towards us. Immediately after, I shot the ape dead. It fell to the ground, tears still flowing. Honestly, I felt a bit strange. Because on its body, I didn't sense any intense murderous aura. Afterward, we went to the home of the caller, Mia Lin. She told us the person who saved her was the forest ranger, Zeke Wang. Mia Lin repeatedly confirmed with us whether that large ape was truly dead. I assured her the man-eating ape had been shot dead. But at this moment, I saw a very grotesque smile bloom on Mia Lin's face, though she quickly returned to her normal expression. I noticed Mia Lin's teeth were quite long, and I kept feeling that Mia Lin looked different from before. What exactly was different, I couldn't quite pinpoint. As I left, I saw Mia Lin standing at her apartment door. She waved goodbye to us, then walked away. But I felt her gait was extremely strange, like someone learning to walk for the first time. I recounted this strange thought to the captain. The captain just said I was too tired. He patted my head, telling me not to overthink it. In the dim light, I noticed the captain's eyes briefly glowed red. Perhaps I truly was too tired today.